move on to game reviews. And this was suggested by... Was it by you, Muzi?
Yeah, it was.
Right? Yes, it was Muzi's idea. So yeah, I mean, it's a great idea. Okay, so let's just dive right in. And like, do you guys rely on game reviews when you guys are about to buy a game?
50-50.
Okay, 50-50.
For me, I would say yes, but no in the same time.
So 50-50.
No, as in, I check on some sites to get the rough overall impression. So like from the top rated, like 10 out of 10 to 1 to a 10, 1 out of 10, if someone like some game review mentioned, and I will see the description of the like some synopsis of the review.
Okay.
So that's where I gauge.
Okay. How about you, Brian?
For me, I look for gameplay videos, then see
Okay.
what the game will be like when you're actually playing it. Like actual gameplay videos. If not, I watch some streams on it before. Like, okay, if let's say I hear about Valorant, before I even want to touch that game, I will go and watch the game, see how people play it, whether it's interesting or it catches my eye, before I actually go and read out about the game. If not, I usually will be in the dark about games. Yeah. Then that will be the thing that makes me decide whether it's interesting enough for me. Yeah.
How about you, Zix?
My usual practice on PS4, normally AAA game I'll get.
Like without looking at review,
Without looking at a review, something like
Anthem.
Limited edition also, right?
Stop telling me it's limited edition. Beside the point of AAA games on the PS4, because I'm actually quite very new to Steam.
Okay.
I would say, but any of you actually looking at there is a thing called like positive. You know, there is like a rating about
mostly
it.
Positive, overwhelmingly positive.
Very positive. Do you guys look at that when you guys buy games on Steam?
Yes.
Like,
by any chance?
Like I honestly do that because I don't know. Like, I mean, when we talk about reviews, right? I mean, like, even for me, I don't normally trust like websites like IGN or whatever, online website, because it is based on the author's opinion when they play the game with their own perspective, right? But on Steam, it's like everyone's one compiled together, and then they have like an overall what it actually is, mostly positive or not, or like even if it's really bad, overwhelmingly bad. I've seen some games like that, and then it's like red flag immediately.
Yes,
That's
very true.
Yeah, and like it's so accurate, because like they count every single review and how they vote it. So I mean, to answer your question, yes, I actually rely on it. Because if it's really good, then you know that it's
usually
special.
I'm IGN my practice is, but it just normally just listen what they have to say with the game. Then, but recently I was always watching Skill Up.
Skill Up.
It's on YouTube, right? Like, I think you
YouTube.
mentioned it to me before.
Yeah, they are really fair, but of course also personal opinion.
Okay.
Most of the time, Then of course you yourself have to judge whether you get a game or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, I think I mean, with written reviews, I think the one thing that is good about it, even though it might be their own experience, is that they are not going to make up things about what the game has, but what the experience could be another thing, right? But if you're talking about like what you can do in a game mechanics wise, I mean, they're not gonna write things that are not true or doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So like, you can, it's not say entirely useless to read a review, but just remember that, you know, it's their
Yeah,
experience.
sometimes
still,
also for
ultimately.
marketing also.
Yeah,
Never know.
like I think
Yeah, because
that
they
yeah.
they cannot trash the game so much. Then after that, they don't give you a free copy of games or
Yeah,
early
I
reviews,
know, right? Like I think there was a meme about it. Like I think back then in 2010 or something. Like I think IGN was giving a lot of reviews for games that are not as high as everyone thinks it is. So people, I mean, oh, actually we shouldn't name names, but certain websites are paid to review a game, and based on the trend, they are given very good reviews for whichever game that paid them to do it. So, yeah.
One thing I've seen about the Steam reviews one, right? I don't look at the thumbs up or thumbs down, that kind of thing, but then I'll read the reviews itself, because I've seen it happen before where a whole bunch of people came together on Reddit. I can't remember which game it was, but they went onto Steam itself. They made a agreement on Reddit. Everyone will go and rate down this game.
Oh my god.
It's for
That
no
happened.
reason. They just decided to come together and do that kind of thing. And then after that, the game from like mostly positive, there was so many people that came together that it just rocked the vote so hard. So instead of just looking at but they still gave good reviews. They gave good reviews, right? But with a thumbs down, just for the fun of it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it has happened a few times before that I know of. So instead of trusting the thumbs up or thumbs down, I'll read the review
Read the
itself.
review, right?
Yeah, and then some reviews, I'll actually go and look at the person profile that left that review, whether it's a real account or not.
So this one really next levels, yeah. Then
Because I'm very choosy about how I spend my money on games. So if there are those fake profiles where you see they have no profile picture, that kind of thing, right? And their comment is out of this world. Oh my god, this game is so amazing. This game will bring you to a whole new level. And then you actually look at their profile, everything is empty. Maybe they got a game but like less than an hour on it. Then it's like, why are you commenting these kind of things? So you can find a lot of all these fake profiles in reviews also. So the thumbs up or down doesn't matter to me, but the review itself actually does.
But does Soccer read through all the comments? What if you saw spoiler about the games? How big does it Soccer impact to you? Because you know when every time when someone or any platform that actually or any website they actually post up like because internet are so fast. Anytime they post out a video about or so-called an article about anything of the new games, then suddenly there's someone to write into a command and say, oh, this is how it ends. This is how the game ends. Straight up. So how does it so-called impact to you guys in a way, right? So-called by reading the comments about it?
I don't know. I think for me it's more like I see it, I'll be like, oh, I guess we can't go back now. but will it ruin the game for me and not want me to buy? No, I will still, if the game is good, I'll still buy it, regardless of whether someone spoiled it or not lah. For the experience, yeah.
Yeah,
me,
you still
right?
get to experience the whole game.
For me, right, like if I want to get the game, eventually I'm still gonna play it. So even if I get spoiled, right, I'm like I'm still gonna reach the point anyway. It's just how I gonna get there, so it doesn't really matter to me that much at all.
I mean, for those FPA games, okay lah. For those platform game, I think it's alright. But those so-called
Story.
because recently there's a lot of very story-driven games that came out. So I for myself, for one, I cannot. I don't want to be spoiled. So normally I'll just pick a few reviewer that I always go and see and always go and read. Then after that, but of course most of the time it doesn't sway my judgment. But of course I still have an open mind to the game as well lah.
Okay.
You know, like everyone say Death Stranding is the stupid game ever. But
Really?
I think the game is great. Yeah, until you play. I mean, I have to a lot of games that you just have to until you personally played it, and then you experience it, then after you can comment about the
Yeah,
game.
correct.
Yeah, and a lot of times those reviewer who actually got early access, there is a time frame they can play the games. After that, they need to write the review. And after when the publisher will tell you when you can release your copy of your reviews whatsoever.
Okay.
Maybe some of them actually rushing throughout to finish the game. Just to write down their review.
So it's not the true experience, correct?
Yeah, so maybe they are so-called rushing the so-called the game itself. Then after that, they'll all just write out the review. Then after that, all done, job done. Yeah, so I think there is a lot of consideration that when come to trusting people game reviews, I'll say.
Okay, so like based on that, right, guys? Like if you guys were to review a game, right? Like what are some of the factors that you will look at a game itself for it to be a good game, of course?
So you look like you have something to say?
Like, are there any like it has to have this at a minimum quality, or if not, I'm not gonna buy it, or I'm gonna say it's bad or something like that. You can be like super biased here, cause there are some things that you might not like in a game, but like yeah.
Very big to say, like, mention it though, because different genres have different, like, let's say for indie games, right, you can't really have like, oh, I must have good graphics, oh, I must have great story whatsoever. Sometimes the game works as intended and it is perfect by itself, but that's just because that it doesn't hit what you expected. Then is that necessarily a bad game though?
Yeah.
That's why it's very hard to really like judge what constitutes as a good game to me.
Because everyone here are playing different games.
Yeah.
As a good game, it maybe apply to me, but maybe will not apply to Sayada. Maybe not apply to Ufi. Maybe not to Brian, not to Muzi. So yeah, so a good game, it just, I think it's good. Maybe you think it's not good.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I think Brian was about to say something, right?
But for me, it's cause, I mean, I solely base around FPS or a lot of FPS. So for me, what is important is the basic game mechanics in terms of the weapon handling, the way you move.
Okay.
Like that's why I found, cause I started off with CS, so games like this kind will make me more interested. Then there are those like, okay, I shouldn't name too many names, but there are games that have very weird mechanics where you jump, you hang in the air for a split second without those, not like Valorant, but there are games that are bad in a sense where you jump, you hang in the air for a split second before you land on the ground again. Then you miss your shot. If you play CS, you go into the game, you'll start missing all your shots because you're just not used to that kind of mechanics. It's just weird. Yeah, so for me, visual aspect, the base mechanics is important to me. And the sound. If you're playing FPS, you need the sound.
Audio cues.
Yes.
For me, what I see is that games that is great for me is I always look at three components. Where that it is fun. Everything, the mechanic is fun. Or like you say Apex have what, wall climbing, something new. Like Titanfall or those. Then it feels fun to have that mechanic. Then you have something, how do you say, like unique in everything. Like it's not like every single game have their own unique things, and I will see that fun in that aspect. But also fun in their story and how it goes. Like the second part is a story. So if the first part fun is not that great, there are some games that are very, very not fun in the long run. Like if you get tired of, let's say, Death Stranding, if you're gonna transport everything, you might get bored of, because I'm a person who will get bored of very same routine stuff very often. So every transport things will get, like, every time you transport, it's gonna be something new, but it's gonna be a routine like after 60 hours. But to like replace that fun, you have the second component of story, whether the story can evolve yourself in. There's so many good stories like laws and everything. Like Dark Souls have laws that is hidden. There are games that right in your face story. And lastly, the third time is playtime. How long are you gonna play that?
Oh. So like for
Are you gonna touch one? Yeah, and
a single player game is more like how long is the whole thing? How many hours can you have in the game? And if it's a multiplayer game, then it's more like how long can it keep you engaged for?
But I would like to split it into because single player games will always be shorter than the multiplayer games. So I was like, it is like the story is like, for example, Death Stranding is like how many hours are 6?
I play about 100 hours.
Yeah.
You cannot ask me because you cannot ask me about games hours that I put in because normally I put in a lot of hours.
Yeah. So that kind of games, right, is very good. But the story, right, is actually 20 hours of that 100 hours.
I see what you mean. Okay.
So that's why it's like specific pick which kind of timing I want to look at.
Okay.
And overall,
Like I guess for me, I think to me personally, right, the story is 50-50. My expectations of games nowadays is so low because they tend to have very, very similar plots, like evil villain, then I don't know, you somehow so powerful and then after that you just like die, then you lose everything. You know, that trend is very common. That's just one example, right? So like there are not many games that have super unique ones, right? So anyway, so that's not really a big deal to me. To me, the one thing that I really look at is the game, whether there's any bugs and whether there's any graphical problems, like a texture not being filled or things look weird. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, because like when it comes to game art, I guess like what Skylar mentioned, there's like gonna be different kinds of games, different kind of engines, and they all make the game towards a concept art that is, you know, unique to themselves, or in a way, like whether it's 3D or 2D or like cell shader or like pixel. So I mean, of course it's unfair to say I like a 3D game but I don't like a 2D game, right? That's like so biased, right? So
or during the, you know, the announcement trailer, they showing you 60 FPS when you play the game, it becomes 60 FPS.
So I guess it's more like, for me, it's how the game runs, as well as how the things you can do in the game, whether it breaks the game or not. Because like when you cheese the game, all that kind of stuff, like that's the only thing I really look at lah. And of course, what Muzi said, if it's fun or not. It like, because I mean we all play games because it's fun, right? Obviously, like you wouldn't play a game that you don't have fun in, right? Unless you like, I don't know. I'm not gonna BM any games, Maple Story, but I don't find it fun. So I'm not gonna play it, right?
Not BM any games.
Don't play it doesn't mean you can BM, huh?
Yeah.
So, but maybe
so my point is that it's overall how the game is built, how it's created, whether mechanics work or not. That's as simple as that. Other than that, it's about fun. Fun or not fun, can't really. You know, that's how I judge it lah. Yeah, because
normally me and Neo, so my friend on PS4, we normally categorize game like, you know, this I'll buy on day one, or so I'll pre-order on day one, or we just put this game like, you know, when we wait for sales. But you know, waiting for the sales period is like, maybe not now. Not even for the first sales, we will wait until, you know, that when the game is like $15. Most of Ubisoft game always do that, but
I feel you, man. I'm not a fan of Ubisoft also, honestly.
Yeah.
Like some of the games are really good, yeah. But
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure.
that's also how we categorize what the game that we'll play next, usually.
Like there was also one thing I wanted to say about game reviews as well. But I forgot. I came out with it was a question for you guys, but I totally forgot. Yeah, but beep 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 404 error. Beep, 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 beep.
Recently, I watched a YouTube video. There's someone who previously from IGN
Okay.
as a reviewer. Then after that, she right now is not. She also called do what she do. She actually talked about so-called how
They review
they
games.
review games.
Okay.
How the process, or how the market about reviewing games and stuff. You guys can go and search it out. I don't want to drop names, but if you want to know, then you guys.
Actually, Zix, that video is the reason why I brought it up.
Yeah. I think it's very important because like I said, there's when they got the game, like so-called early reviewer, early copy the games. The games maybe it's not. I cannot say it's not fully. It's fully built, but there's a lot of bugs going on.
Like they haven't fixed it, but they just send the copy, right?
They always have a so-called day one patch or stuff. If you heard of it, then sometime when they are just rushing throughout the whole thing, then after they write a review, just because they want to meet the timeline when the game developer say, oh, you can release the video, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Like, if I'm not wrong, most of the time they release the reviews like a day or 2 days before. I mean, 2 days after it launches, right? I
think right now,
game reviews
right now
like,
earlier.
Now it's even
Right now
earlier.
It's even
It's
earlier.
not that earlier.
But there are some trends, like some games are very long.
Yeah, then
Death Stranding.
Yeah.
They always push the review like 1 week or 2 weeks,
Like
so they
they'll
can
say,
like properly.
like they'll say review in progress, right? I think
Yeah.
IGN uses that review in progress or something.
Or
so they
so-called-
give you
or
like a
they-
rough review first, and then
Or they separate by parts. Like they review the single player game, but
Ah.
they don't review the
yes,
multiplayer because
correct.
the server is not up yet.
Correct.
Yeah, stuff like that.
But it's highly based on the reviewer by themselves. So I think if you want to look at game review, always look at who you want to follow, right? Yeah.
Okay, so like for you guys, right? What are the top 3 games of all time? The greatest games in your books that you've ever played? Like freaking fantastic. Nothing can go wrong. It's just amazing. Like it was just like.
For me, my top 3 is Star Wars Knight of the Old Republic, which is RPG. Second is BioShock. Third is Halo Combat Evolved / Custom Edition.
Okay.
So for my first choice, Star Wars KOTOR. I want to say KOTOR because it's like so much easier. So KOTOR is like one of my BioWare title which I ever played, and I love Star Wars back in the day. I play on Xbox, and that is the first game where you can branch anything, like there's good and evil. There's so many ways, and that is the mind blown. Like that time when I was like 15 or 14, around the age. For second, BioShock, for the lore. Like, my god, the lore. But you kindly is like.
Yeah, it's an amazing game, right? I know of that, but I never played it. Like but I heard it's so crazily good. A lot of good reviews. For KOTOR.
So yeah. For like example, I was like young, like 13, 14. I had a notepad. I draw the ball. Like, how the heck that small ball can go through all the way there? I want to know the mechanical stuff and all. That's why I'm an engineer right now. But actually, that's a pipe dream. And lastly it was Halo Combat Evolved. Is like one of my fun Xbox game. I mean, like it's Halo. It's futuristic. I like futuristic, and also the multiplayer is fun. That's one of the multiplayer games I play. But also it leads to custom edition because of the trend of Red versus Blue.
Red versus Blue. Legendary series actually.
Yeah, so that's why it's always, even though all of them have their flaws, but I still rank them. They all because they are my
the best experience with it, right?
Yeah. Now I'm like, Then, too much game is like.
How about you, Brian?
Counter-Strike, because I actually grew up with Counter-Strike itself.
I kind of knew it, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've been playing since 1.6 since I was in primary school.
Okay.
Yeah. Then of all versions, 1.6, Source, Counter-Strike Online, which was by another company, then Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Then there's Destiny 2, which anyone that has tried it on PC will probably know, even if you play on the lowest graphics, it'll still look pretty damn amazing. And there's so much story behind it. Every season they come out with something new. So in a way they actually keep you hooked on to the game itself. So yeah, that's good, other than having to spend money every season to buy new stuff.
When they first launch, it's a fail.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
And then for my last game would be something that kind of summarizes my childhood as well, because RuneScape from the RuneScape Classic, where it's 2D, flat, and then you're just flipping around everywhere you go. Then to the newer versions of RuneScape, although I don't play it anymore, I still think it's quite a interesting game. Yeah, so those are the 3 games for me.
Nice. What about you, Skylar?
My 3 games, okay. I think I mentioned it the last show before, but one of my favorite is definitely Borderlands 2, straight up. Because with that money that you spend, I mean, especially now when you have the Game of the Year edition, right? The money that you spend on it is really worth every single cent, and the storytelling is great. They don't throw away side characters. In fact, side characters have lots of side quests for you to do so that you can actually understand the side characters more as well. And the side characters are not just on the side, they do involve them, try to involve them in the main story as well if possible. My second favorite would be Divinity Original Sins 2, where again the story, the plot is so good. The combat, right? There's so many ways of clearing a stage where the stage is scripted, but there's so many ways of clearing it. You can go by many skill builds and whatsoever, and that's like every single run through is kind of different if you play differently lah, of course. Third though, probably Real Alert 2. I really like RTS, to play Real Alert 2 as an RTS because I like the storyline to be honest. I think it's kind of unique. And at that point in time, not really that interested in Warcraft 3, so yeah.
Okay. How about you, Six? Bloop. Sponsored by Monster.
I think I also said before the last show. The first one is Spider-Man. Spider-Man on PS2.
Or PS2.
PS2.
Okay.
PS2. The game came out. Although the disc only cost me about 10 ringgits. But okay, that's beyond the point. Back the time,
You know, I know everything.
The game actually blew my mind. Like, you see Spider-Man was actually swinging around New York City. It literally blew my mind. Second, Destiny 1.
Oh, okay.
When Destiny 1 came out, the game actually was so good. I was so high about it when I just got PS4. Even before I got PS4, I already confirmed and shot that I'll buy Destiny. Because it's a brand new IP. Then after that, they're launching on a new platform. Third, Death Stranding.
What? Sorry?
Death Stranding.
Oh, Death Stranding. Wow.
Death Stranding.
That actually made your list.
just
Okay.
have to play it, then you'll understand. I don't care it's 20 hours of story or 20 hours of story cutscene, but you just have to play it yourself, then you will know.
I mean, we want to play it, yeah.
What is the idea of the whole game itself?
Like how it all comes in a full circle to complete the
He's
experience.
selling Death Stranding damn hard leh. Now I tempted to get it on Steam.
And they're coming out soon.
Kojima sponsor, please.
Sponsor, please.
Notice him, senpai.
They're coming out soon on PC, okay?
10 days.
10 days, right? Aye.
Okay, I guess for me, the first one would be Fable when it came on Xbox.
Which one?
Fable 1. That I think is a similar experience to what Zeke said. It literally blew my mind as well because basically if you guys don't know Fable, it was an Xbox exclusive made by Lionhead, right? Was it Lionhead
Rare,
Studios? Oh, Rare?
I think it's Rare.
Or Lionhead Studios, which is close.
Wait.
But yeah, so when it came out, you could choose either to be good or evil, and the art style was just really, really nice. Like, it wasn't about being like a Crisis kind of a graphics, but it was very, very cartoon. It wasn't cartoonish, like it was more like, I want to say kid friendly, but it looks very like kid friendly. But yeah, it was just an amazing game. The combat was pretty fun, and all that, and the whole experience was just like really awesome. I played it when I was I think 12 years old or 13 years old. One of the best experiences in my whole life. Like, I've never gotten that in a game again. And then number 2 would probably be Halo 2. Halo 2 was because I had an Xbox, right? So it came with Halo Combat Evolved. So it was like where I was like learning about the series. So after I played the first Halo, and then they announced Halo 2, right? And then it was apparently, from what I remember in my mind, in my little head, was that it was hype as hell because it was like the sequel to like, the Xbox exclusive Halo, whatever. So I still remember that I went to a game shop to attempt to pre-order it. Apparently you had to put a deposit down, and during that point I didn't know what a deposit was. So I was like, thank the lady, can my mom transfer you the deposit? Like that was actually so embarrassing, but I don't blame myself because I was just a kid. Like I was like just like 12. I was 13 years old, no, actually I was just 12 actually. And then like, cause I was that hype, I wanted so badly to pre-order because like during that point in time, games will always get sold out, right? I think some of you might remember.
Yeah.
The day one copy would be sold out if you don't pre-order. So I was like going crazy. I was like, please, mom, I need it. So yeah, so I played it. I was like, oh my god, crazy. It was like super hype. Yeah, so that was like number 2. And then the last one would probably be, I think, World of Warcraft. After playing Warcraft 3, and I think Frozen Throne was already out as well. And then you learn about Arthas, you learn about the World of Warcraft. I mean, you learn about the actual lore of Warcraft. I know that sounds dumb, like World of Warcraft, but yeah, you learn about the elf, the human, all that kind of stuff, and then you play the plot, right, and stuff like that. So like, for me to play WoW, the game, it was like, okay, I shouldn't say holy shit. I should say, oh my god, that is so cool. Like, you
it's
actually,
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's like literally wow. And then like when I play, I was like, wow, this is so cool. Oh my god, like you get to play as a night elf, all that kind of stuff. Like I was like, oh my god, it's like super like nice 3D, whatever, got trees, whatever, blah 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 blah. So that was like super duper hype. Like I still remember the feeling when I had it. But that was when they had the subscription in like the game card as well in 2004, I remember. But yeah, that was really, but it might not be the best game, but I think it's the one that leaves the most impact to me. That I looked at, yeah. So games are awesome.
Games life.
Yeah, but I guess like games actually give us like an experience that you can't really get in real life, if you guys know what I mean.
Like an escape,
Yeah,
from
like
real
you
life.
can be who you want to be or play who you want to play, and it's so cool, all that kind of stuff. That's like for another day lah. But I guess that's why games are so good. And if you don't play games, you won't understand. Like I don't know. My parents. Why you always not playing game? This game is amazing, okay? Yeah.
You wouldn't want to play it. Come sit.
How to move then the thing like that, like anyhow. Okay, do you guys have anything to add on game reviews? Any last words to advise viewers maybe on how to dissect reviews properly?
I honestly feel like even though you go for reviews, right, still believe in what you like. Maybe you go YouTube, go watch a gameplay and see whether you think it's so good or not. If you think it's good, go ahead and try. Give it a shot. Maybe it may not be good to others, but it may be good to you. Who knows?
Yep.
Check out people who stream on Twitch.
Exactly.
True.
There are also some
Yeah,
gameplay
ask for
videos
live
where
reaction also.
there are gameplay videos where they won't have camera and they won't talk over the game at all. I've seen those kind of gameplay videos, right? They are gonna be stretchy and all lah, but watching them really show you the game, it'll be a good sense for you. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So for me, I would say, look at every. For me, I personally will look at r/Reddit, r/games, where they will list every review that is like, if I'm not wrong, is a lot of sites they will list out all the rating. The ratings can be like anything. Then you just read what is the overall impression. Keep that overall impression. Go look at the YouTube videos and try if you are still interested in it.
Zix?
I will still buy AAA games. If I like it.
Yeah, I mean, if you like something, you wouldn't.
I will still watch game review. I will still read. I will still go and see how other people review the game. Like I say, mostly now I spend a lot of time on skill up. Or no, if you can go and watch Angry Joe.
Angry Joe is a pretty good reviewer as well. Okay, what I would say is that when you look at game trailers, just look at it in a point that is like, this is the world that you're gonna play in, but do not
expect the game trailer is
like like never ever base your whether you want to buy the game or not on the trailer. Okay, that's what I will tell you guys, because trailers are out there to market the game. They're literally not to like. I mean, they are somewhat accurate, but it's the best moments in the game. So if there's less best moments and then the rest of the time is super boring, then there's no point, right? But they are not lying, what? Because it's the trailer is true, right? Yeah. So don't trust trailers. That's what I can tell you guys. The rest I think is quite common sense lah. Go to YouTube and watch walkthroughs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.